All right. How about now? What do you guys see? Is it a full screen or let me see. Can I get some feedback if you guys can see? All right.
It's the full screen. It's all right.
You see the full screen, right? Somehow I'm a little confused why it's not showing me here. Let me try one more thing. Okay, perfect. So when you give me a thumbs up, I can get started.
Yes, it's perfect now.
Some is it time now to get started or I need to wait? Sorry, I'll confuse.
Yeah, I've started it.
All right, perfect. Um, so well, thank you. Good morning, good evening, everybody, for wherever you connected, and thank you for joining this session presented by Sunday Dive into Tech Experts 2025. All thanks to our community effort from Uttar Pradesh Power BI community, who has organized this setup. So really appreciate that. So for today, let's go into what's the agenda and the topic. So today, by the way, my name is Anwar, and I want to take you today on a journey through the transformation of customer service, a journey where AI and human expertise come together to redefine the customer experience. So we're going to, dig deeper further. So this is the agenda for today's topic. So it's very common. Think about the last time you might have called customer service. Did you have to wait too long or repeat yourself multiple times and still felt like the bot on the other side still didn't catch you up? If that's the case, then well, you're not alone. We all have been there, we all have seen it. And that frustration is exactly why customer service is going through one of the biggest transformation in its history. And it's not about human or it's not about AI. It's a collaboration, a duo called human and AI. When they work together, they can create a service that is smarter, faster, and a lot more empathetic than ever before. So let's, before we go further, begin deep dive, why this session is going to be helpful and how can we help adopt AI in this space. So we will try to cover some of the insights from 200 plus global enterprise that has been analyzed, which shows the impact of implementing AI on their organizations. Then we'll also look at the evidence-backed matrices that proves and shows the efficiency gains once the setup is established. Then we'll talk about the practical patterns for AI-assisted workflow, some of the lesson learned from different industry, and then we'll focus a little bit more on financial and mortgage industry. And then we'll also talk about the ROI-focused AI adoption, not just AI adoption, not just a buzzword, right? The real business, meaningful AI adoption. And then we'll also talk about some of the real world payback period and cost saving examples. All right, before we dive in, I want to welcome you all once again and want to give a little glimpse of who I am. Like I said, my name is Anwar Ahmed. I have experience in transforming large-scale financial systems and driving AI adoption in organizations at leadership level from top to bottom. So currently I'm serving as a VP of Enterprise Architecture and AI at NewRes, which is one of the America's top lenders in mortgage. I lead platforms that process more than 30 million transactions every day, and I have crafted AI solutions that cut processing times by over 90%. And yes, you heard it right, it's not 19, it's not a typo, it's 90%. So we were able to reduce the time from 15 days to few hours just by leveraging AI in this space. And then not just that, I look forward for the interactions of AI, cloud, and automation, and most importantly, not just technology, how these technologies can help create measurable business impact. That's the key. Right? And I also actively contribute to several AI forums. You know, in discussions, we have forums here in Dallas as well. And again, once again, one thanks to Microsoft team for helping on this session as well. So that's a little bit about who am I and what do I do. So now let's talk about how we are going to structure this discussion today, right? So I will walk you through a journey where we'll start by looking at the current challenges of customer service. Then we'll explore how humans and AI complements each other. We'll then review the core technologies that are required to help transform this and from implementation perspective, right? We'll also talk about some of the implementation strategies that has helped us and many of the real world applications, right? So we'll look at the success matrices from the ROI perspective that has helped business, and at the end we'll also look at some of the future trends that's coming up very soon in this space. So think of it as a moving from the pain of the past to the opportunities of the present and the possibilities of the future. All right, let's dive in then. So first, let's look at the current challenges. It's very common. We launch a new service, a new product in a rush. Everything is successful, launch is successful, but then because of this new services, new product, customer has a lot of inquiries coming in. So the volume spike ups a lot, right? Or maybe because of these timelines, we did not get enough time to train as many agents as we should. And now the lack of this training is kind of creating a pain point for those agents. So they're taking a lot longer than usual to answer those questions. So products and services, many times we saw, especially in this in software domains, right? Mortgage domains, they're very complex in nature. When they're complex, that means you might also have to get in information from multiple places. So the knowledge management might be scattered somewhere into multiple places. Maybe you have data in SharePoints. There are some scripts that agent has to run, right? They may go out of this application, open another application to give you and read through the answer for the questions being asked. And all these in combination together put unsuitable conditions for human agents. They are putting so much pressure that no, I have to wrap up this call, the queue is so high, I'm not able to finish the response that's needed. And together, this creates an ecosystem where our customers are unhappy, our agents are into so much pressure, and this pressure of every day becomes so hard that the iterations become high, right? So, what did we learn from the current customer service or traditional service, so to call, right? Two big pain points: the volume overload, the spike, and knowledge gaps. And together they create unsuitable conditions. And because of which your average handling time remains high, very limited personalization, and when we are doing interaction with customers, the first contact resolution rates goes below the expectation because everybody's in rush and agent burned out a lot. We also see then inconsistent service quality because when I call for the existing product which has been established from a while or existing service which has been established from a while, hardly any changes, I'm getting better response as a customer because agents are trained, knowledge is provided everywhere, but not in this new product. So inconsistency in quality. And then the lack of real-time actionable insights for management to help resolve all these issues. Yes, we get the data is being dumped to different pipelines, it goes through reporting, and there are some well-defined insights that our business gives, and then they get reported every day. But those are not dynamic, those are not real time. And those are very static, defined KPIs, doesn't cater to everyday need. And all in turn push us towards a rising operation cost, which means our ROI is getting impacted. So these are some of the challenges that mainly traditional customer services we all have seen it, right? Now, what is this AI revolution? What can what can it do and help us, especially in the space, right? So think about a scenario where you were trying to make a payment for your car, maybe for your house, personal loans, and it can be any. You try to make a payment, you get famous gateway error. As a customer, you felt like, oh, the transaction didn't happen. So then you made another payment. And after 3 days, you get to know, oh my God, instead of one payment, I made two payments now. So they have to call customer service. Hey, by the way, I made a payment. Instead of one, it just happened to be two payments. How quickly can you do reversal? I'm not sure. And the agent says, oh, I have to check. Let me see. We'll get back to you. And then few days or blah, 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 right? General experience where AI can help. Think about the same scenario. As soon as the duplicate payments happen, system behind the scene knows that for the same customer for the same date, we have more than one payment. So it triggers a notification back to customer immediately and saying, by the way, we receive more than one payment, which is unexpected. I know it's not ideal situation. You might have other payments due. We will try our best to revert it as quickly as possible. And just know that we are working on it. So the whole shift from reactive to proactive service model, that represents a fundamental change. And that's what organizations are approaching towards customer relationships. If we can achieve this, that means you have a happy customer. They understand that you are there with them. They don't need to reach out. So And I'm going to quote some of these numbers. We'll talk about these numbers one more time at the end. When the AI has been implemented in many systems, so a study has been done, and what was observed was the handling time reduced by 41.3%. The first contact resolution improved roughly by 37%. The customer satisfaction increased by 23%. I know it happens, but at least I got a notification that yes, you are working on it. I don't need to reach out, right? The sentiment accuracy has increased above 90%, which is one of the most important area, especially in this space. And because we implement AI, it's not just customers, our agents also get help. So what's observed is the agent satisfaction has been improved by 33%. That means less of the iterations. That means no retraining for multiple agents as we have less iterations. Happy agents is actively helping our customers to happy customers, right? So we talk about where humans are helpful. We also talk about the AI, but let's look at what this duo can complement each other and can it help really, right? On a very high level, when we think about AI, the first thing that comes in mind is scale. Machines mean scale. So that means with AI, we can where we can win a lot and achieve a lot is scale and speed. No humans can ever match the scale and speed of the AI, right? But where is, as a human, where is our strength? Creativity and empathy is the most important aspect that remains with humans. When you have straightforward flow, you requested AI, you get it. But when the situation is a little bit tricky, that's when human comes in. When you are at a situation when you are at very low in your life, humans help, human comes in. So the duo human and AI will produce a service which will feel smarter, feel faster, and more human than ever before. That means what this duo can bring us when implemented in any organizations. That we may have a context-aware chatbots for 24/7 support. So we don't need to have agents all around the clock, right? We can have intelligent routing to specialized agents. You don't, as a human, need to call, explain a situation to person A. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not me. Let me transfer to you another department. That's not needed anymore. So we don't need to frustrate our customer. We don't need to choke the bandwidth of our agents to something that they are not specialized at. Routing, intelligent routing. Right? Real-time translation across multiple languages. AI is capable of doing it, right? Integrations with CRM for unified experience. Very, very, very crucial. You may get a better experience in one channel, but the others are not as good as this channel, which is most of the organizations struggle today. Unified experience is what makes your customer more confident and happy. Doesn't matter it's voice or text or chatting or calling, same experience. Predictive recommendations for faster resolution. As a leader, you know before things goes into a bad state. You know beforehand. We can predict as soon as the 30th days comes, we know there'll be some spikes. We can arrange in that mode, right? handling FAQs autonomously. We don't need to have a human for that, and that with high accuracy. It's not an era anymore where you ask a very specific question in a format that is expected, then only you're going to get an answer. It's a most human possible language, right? And not only that, we with this duo, AI can also assist our agents in many scenarios. Hey, by the way, here's a checklist that you have to make sure that's covered when you interact with customers. And you're done with 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth is not done, you can start highlighting. Oh, by the way, you miss it. So as a human, you focus on your strength where you get help from AI where there's a possibility. All right. Now let's go a little bit deeper on the emotional intelligence in AI human collaboration, the duo, so called, right? So AI, the combination of AI driven emotional intelligence and human compassion, talk about that creates a service experience that feels both efficient and genuinely caring. Reactive. What are some of the emotional AI examples? Sentiment analysis. It can now detect when customers send a text, mail, or call from the categorization perspective that yes, unhappy, happy, neutral, or maybe very highly unhappy. And based on that, you can redirect or have a different kind of flows that if customer is very, very unhappy or unhappy, I want somebody to interact with. That's when your human comes into play. Right? That gives a personalized touch and make customers feel more comfortable and more connected with your organizations. And what all your emotional aware system can do, can detect sentiments in real time, adjust the tone and response dynamically if you agree to respond to customers in many scenarios through various channels. It can prioritize escalations as needed, not every time. Now I know this customer is really unhappy. Instead of me handling it, I have to redirect to some of the human agent who is specialized in handling such customers, right? And this enable proactive service interventions. And altogether, what it does on our brand, it enhances the customer trust and loyalty, right? So the combination of AI and human compassion creates service experience that feels both efficient and genuinely caring. That's the key. Okay, now let's look at, we talk about the first two aspects. Now let's see what's needed from the technology perspective to drive this kind of transformation. On a high level, we categorize into three different buckets. The conversational AI part, which can help in maintaining conversation histories. As soon as somebody calls, it knows the real-time context. Oh, by the way, I know this customer has reached out to us before, and in fact, through multiple channels. Maybe they have sent an email before, so it can go back and read that context and present it to our agent saying, here is the context last time it calls, and there are some of the key items that we are supposed to take action on. So imagine if that's the scenario. Before customers say something, as the agent from your organization says, I know you have sent a note regarding your payment, and then there are three action items that gets open. We have already closed two, we're working on the third one. And We have a timelines to resolve in X number of hours, days. So the overall experience for customer is changed. So that's when the conversational AI comes into play. So this is what is the interaction between customers and agent, how that's helping. Now, before the call comes to the agent, like I said, we want the smart routing in place. So the intelligent routing comes into play in those areas. It can dynamically identify the workforce area that's needed to help this kind of customers. And the third space is mainly for leadership team and anybody else who is managing it, the real-time analytics. We know things are not going good. Let's see how can we help. And that help can be given to agent, to a leader, to help train those agents if there's some lack of knowledge. And it all depends on your implementation. Many scenarios. Agent receive a call, they get real-time info about the customer history, any previous concerns, complaints, action items. So think of AI as the GPS of customer service that routes issues to the right agent with the right real-time context. That's a great help to agent, right? And how it can help, we already talk about that unified data foundation for the AI workload, real-time analytics pipeline. So now we get the feed before even the day gets passed as time goes. Millisecond level intent classification, report and support, scalability, since now you can scale machines a lot, right? And monitoring and reporting tools are not just the static data, they give us the real-time feedback. Going further down, now we identify the high-level technology, the core components. Let's see a very high level, how to implement if that this is the first time you're implementing it. So phased approach. Start small. If you are new to the space, take a problem statement that gives you 80-20 rule. Small area, 20% of your investment, that gives you 80% of ROI, right? Take a small use case. Don't go big, don't plan big. Small pilot program with just one use case that can give you a measurable impact. OKR is very important. You have to know your objective that you're implementing and the key result through which you're going to achieve it. That gives ROI to the business, right? So implement that use case, train your agents. One of the biggest concerns everywhere is as soon as you talk about AI to agents, everybody gets scared. Oh, is this going to take my job? Why should I even help you implement this pilot? Educate them that AI is there to complement them, not to replace them. The more educated the agents are, the better help you're going to get from the system. Make them as a partner. So AI should be considered as their partner. They should feel that it's not a threat to them. Now, before we implement, one thing has been from very early days. So the garbage in, garbage out. Good data in, good data. So data quality is the key. And that's going to drive your success or failure of your AI implementation. Most important part, always look at data quality. Consistency has to be the key. You cannot have a model with variations of data, and the quality is sometimes so bad. So data, we have to spend a good amount of time to make sure that we get the data that we expect. And from the implementation roadmap perspective, like I said, stepwise AI adoption phases, educate everybody, create champions who can talk about AI in an organizations in every department. That AI is here as a co-pilot to us. We are getting, everybody's getting a new assistant to help them. It's not good. Assistant can never replace you. It is there to complement you. Integrate with existing CRM system for unified experience. Data preparation and pipeline, the key. Now comes the model training and validation cycles. One of the most important aspect of a good AI implementation is always take feedback. So you implement a use case, you put a pilot, take feedback from everybody, and that should be a continuous 360 feedback loop. Keep taking feedback, enhancing a model, your systems, your prompt, keep feeding that back so the quality get enhanced every day. From the adoption success metrics, it has been observed that 81% of the agent adoption rate for AI tools are in place where agents are aware of AI, they're well educated. They know that AI is here as a co-pilot to help them. They are still the captain. It has improved onboarding speed for new agents. Now the training, rigorous training can be reduced. Everybody excited that they are going to work in a system which is modern. So they're not working on the old tech, right? Reduce training time because now you get a lot of AI guidance. Provide them a chatbot as example to give them data what they need instead of they go to multiple systems. Every time customer reach out for every question, if they have to hop into multiple places, multiple systems, that's when they lose the confidence. Help them consolidate into one place. Give them a bot, intern bot as example. The higher engagement in performance review, faster learning curves with AI copilots. You have some help with you, right? And all together it produce measurable productivity improvements. All in all, from compliance, AI-driven compliance is compliance is a key part, right? Wherever we implement, especially in big organizations, we have to consider compliance. Your real-time policy adherence check. Now, this even gives another level of advantage to compliance team. You can know at any point that your guidelines has been followed or not. Real time. Automatic redaction of sensitive data. So we have been talking when customer calls, give me your social, give me account number, and then they type those details and make sure that those informations are redacted. But now you don't need to. Now it's get done automatic. Nobody has to remember anything. And from the compliance, it's so easy they can anytime take some samples and say, yes, that information is redacted, right? And then from what you should see is what you should be allowed to see. So role-based access control enforcement. You have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, based on what you should see, you'll see only those information. AI-assisted risk detection in conversation. Secure data retentions. And the transparent audit logs for regulators. We have seen it. We have seen it that whenever there's a regulation, show me the logs, right? So start small with a pilot, one pilot use case, measurable impact, build confidence with you and with business, and then scale. That's the key. Train your agents, check your data quality before you plan to roll out. Okay, let's talk about some of the measurable way for the ROI, your success criteria, right? So there are three different buckets: customer experience, operational efficiency, financial performance. All of them had their own, different kinds of scores available for each of them. So organizations must consider both short-term implementation cost and long-term benefits. So it's not just the, oh, now we have to spend load additional servers, additional infrastructure. It's a long-term benefit if you think across the horizon. As AI system matures and agents become proficient in leveraging AI capabilities. So high-level metrics, define your OKR, define the ROI matrices, your CSAT score, your cost per interaction. That should be the key that I was taking before this implementation. 3 minutes to handle a call, now it should be 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. First contact resolution. I do not want any time to call or any of the organization multiple times. So agent satisfaction gains, improvement in employee satisfaction. At least 33% improvement has been observed in employee satisfaction. Reduce burnout. Now you're not into pressure. You have the tools that's needed for you to help do your best in the area that your expertise is. More focus on empathy-driven conversation now instead of juggling through multiple systems, right? And now AI handling the complex piece from analyzing the data, running it for you. You are taking care of what's needed from your side. For them, because now for agents, we have AI-powered analytics, so their career growth is high. They are learning faster, moving faster. That's the skill. Oh, I have to work on the soft skill or the product skill, specialization skill. So you focus on that area. And everybody gets excited and happy when the human AI collaborative environments. So you feel confident. From customer side of the upliftment, consistent omni-channel experience. Personalizations based on your customer history. I know you have called yesterday or you have sent a note. We already got the action items that's needed. We're working on it. Here's the ETA. That changed the whole experience as a customer. Oh, they know everything about what they're listening. Right? Faster response time, improving a better CSAT scores. Context-aware recommendations at scale. Transparent resolution progress tracking. They know what's happening behind the scene, when it's happening. In case something goes wrong, I know it is being taken care. Proactive outreach, reducing churn risk. And all together that creates a superior service and a better brand experience. So you become the differentiator. The cost per interaction reduce significantly now because I don't have enough to discuss anymore. Yes, I can talk about the basketball, baseball, cricket, sure. And in turn, this all increase self-service adoption rates. A lot of tools available for customer itself. I don't need to talk to somebody in the middle of the night. I can chat, get my answer then and there. And not just FAQ based, the most humanly way possible. Let me do a quick time check. Okay. Some of the use cases across multiple. So AI has been the buzzword every industry is running through. to implement that, and everybody wants the first implementation to be on customer side so that they get a better brand value. So financial services, routine banking inquiries can be done through AI, while the agents focus on the complex financial work, specialization, retail and e-commerce. So order tracking, return processing, all can be handled by machines. You manage the complex product consultations, healthcare, scheduling an appointment, insurance verification. Today, have to wait. Somebody has to call to check. Let me check what all is covered. It's not needed. All that can be done through AI, right? And you can focus on urgent medical concerns and needs and any other healthcare related. Technology sector. Tech companies are definitely a much ahead in the game since that's their portfolio. So tech companies serves as early adopters, using their own AI products to enhance service delivery. Microsoft, Facebook, Google, they have enforced that you have to leverage a lot of AI tools. The expectation is that 30% of the product development has to be done by AI from now to next 2 years. And that graph is going to go up, not down. The rest of the technology will still focus on solving business problems, creating a solution that doesn't exist. Think about a scenario that can help your customers, right? So since currently I'm working on the financial industry, mortgage space, I want to talk about one of the case studies that has been done on, especially one of the top tier mortgage company in US called Rocket. They were the first one who has implemented and at least publicly call it out. Many of us has implemented already, but then calling it out. So they have introduced AI copilots and call out that it reduced the handling time with a great amount of efficiency. Sentiment awareness, CSAT. It has been observed that fast resolution of mortgage related queries. Also integrate with their loan processing system to get real-time information. Adoption 90+% by service agents. Outcome customer retention, much higher rate. So overall, from many enterprises and roughly 219 enterprise studies suggest that common success pattern in AI adoption, organizational change management studies. It has to come from top to down. Incremental deployment versus big bang. Cross-functional, you cannot implement all by yourself. Cross-functional collaboration is the key, right? Okay, we've talked about the traditional challenges, how AI can help. We also discuss about some of the core technologies that can help bring this transformation. Some of the strategies recommended, look at the ROI, look at the OKR, right? Start small, all that. But is that really straightforward to implement? If that's not so, then what are some key challenges when we start implementing AI? So one thing is certain, change is painful. Change is difficult. So how can we bring that change, and especially the cultural change? One of the biggest challenge to implement AI in big organizations is cultural change. And that adaptation is high. And how can we help? As a leadership team, it has to come from top to bottom. You have to be involved. You have to create champions in every department who can day and night talk about AI and how it can help. And slowly people will start getting adopted through some trainings. Show them the advantage. The fear has to come out that AI is there to replace. They should have the confidence that AI is going to help me as a copilot, as my assistant, and I'll still be at the driving seat. Second biggest challenge, data. Like I said, your AI implementation is as good as your data is. So data privacy and security, ensuring that we have kept the security in mind from day one is the only way to protect yourself. If not implemented right way, you're going to expose the data all the way. Transparent communication about data help maintains confidence. So talk to your security, ensure that they're aware, your compliance are up to date, your business is aware, to every leadership. And then from the implementation perspective, where it is difficult most difficult is legacy systems. When you have systems that are very old, it is very hard to do any kind of integrations, and AI is no different. So we have to ensure that whenever you run a use case, you want to implement that pilot, start small concept, ensuring the compatibility between AI and legacy system is the key. If that's the case, so then if you have a legacy system, you have to have a way to inject your integrations, maybe API, right? So those are some of the key challenges, but amongst all, like I said, the hardest is the culture. And who can help? Top to bottom leadership. And they have to involve there. And it's not just them. Every leader who is part of the champion team, they have to be involved from top to bottom till it's the implemented. So regular feedback sessions, iterative improvements, all this together ensured a better AI implementation that aligns with your organization values and the need of the employees. So let's talk about some of the future trends in human AI customer. The vision from now, the technology vision, what's the vision? AI with empathy, the advanced emotional intelligence that is coming soon. That is the next generation of AI. And it will have that sophisticated emotional capabilities. It will be able to understand not just what customer says, but also interpret that, how they feel, right? Omni-channels. So today you implement one channel and still have the challenges with other challenges. That's common, very common all across organizations. Seamless experience across all integration channels. So many of the systems are coming up um, with full-blown all channels implementation of those AI. And then the autonomous resolution of routine issues, things where humans are not involved. So advanced AI will be able to solve some of those bugs, issues, minors, at least we start with, precisely knowing when humans should be involved. That is coming very soon. Like I said, Microsoft is planning, Facebook is planning, so 30% of the development will be done by AI. So for the small issue, yes, there has to be a clear boundary what AI is allowed to do and then what human can allow to do. That boundary is very important. Some of the strategic implementation recommendation. So leadership and vision. In order to have a successful AI implementation, it is required that the leadership is committed and they have a very clear vision and not just committed involved on day one till the last day of the implementation. Must articulate the strategic importance of AI. Unless we are well educated from top to bottom, it is hard to get that implemented. That is the key. And then invest in human capital. You have to train your employees, you have to train your agents, you have to train yourself in many of those aspects, your soft skills, technical skills, career path, why AI is going to help me. If they are aware of it, everybody will rush with your game plan. Technology selection and partnership. It is very, very, very crucial that you choose the right technology on day one. If you are with the right tech, the implementation is going to be a lot more easier. So choose the technology that suits your environment. And it can be different for everybody, right? You know your environment. So strategic partnership with vendors and consultants in those spheres is going to help you go faster. Many times you'll see many of the starter projects available for you in some of the languages, technologies, and the other it's not. So if you are in those space where it's not, take help from vendors and consultants. And the last is the feedback loop. Without the feedback, you're not going to help your system. Establish ongoing process to take continuous feedback, internal, external, everywhere. So John F. Kennedy says, right, the change is a law of life. And those who look only to the past or to the present are certain to miss the future. We want to make sure that we don't miss tomorrow. Many examples, right? We had a very successful organization in past. BlackBerries, prestige, successful. They look at the past and the present, not at the future. Nokia, many other, right? So transforming your organizations takes planning, investment, and commitment. But the rewards are powerful and very long lasting. Right? Okay. Conclusion. So we managed to reach to this page. So what's the big takeaway? The big takeaway is the future isn't man versus machine. It is man with machine complementing each other. A duo that can help make your service faster, smarter, and more empathetic and human ever before. So the organizations that embrace this synergy will not only save cost and improve efficiency, they will build deeper trust with their customer. So as a leader, innovator, and change makers, the question isn't whether AI will transform customer service, because it will. It's how you will design that transformation in your own organization. So the future of customer service is AI human collaboration. And that future starts today. All right, call to actions. Since we reached to that last slide, prep yourself. Access AI readiness in your organizations. You should know where you stand on the scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, however you want to know where you stand today. You want to start on the journey, start with a small pilot. The pilot that you're going to choose has to have a measurable outcome with well-defined KPIs. So define your OKR. What's your objective? What's your key results? Cross-functional collaboration is the key. You cannot implement all by yourself. You have to have all the department working together in order to have a successful implementation. And there are a lot of learning resources available. Start leveraging that. Invest on human capital and engage with AI community. We have many active AI communities available. Do engage with them. And then, thank you. Thank you for your time and attention. Thank you for attending this special Sunday series from Microsoft Fabric. And a special thanks once again to our Uttar Pradesh Power BI group who has organized this. Make sure that you explore AI Skills Fest learning path that's available from Microsoft if you're into that ecosystem. Subscribe to event channels and do share your feedback with community. That's one of the best way to enhance everybody's knowledge 360 loop, right? And lastly, I'll be happy and excited if you would like to connect and collaborate with me. Here is my LinkedIn profile. Anytime, if you feel like you want to connect, please feel free. With that, I would like to thank you everybody one more time for your participation and collaboration. I'm going to take a pause and see if there are any questions now. Let me stop the recording. All right. So I'm going to wait for a few seconds if there are anybody who has any questions. If not, then I'll still be available on LinkedIn. Feel free to drop a message if you have any questions and you want to connect. Happy to do so. Power BI team, do you guys want to bring the other screen? If you
Yes. Actually, I feel like it's 9:33 p.m. and now. Maybe all are having like dinner or just it's night for them.
oh, gotcha. Yeah.
And also, it's just like on Saturday, they were not yet prepared for it, maybe.
Nope.
So,
Yeah. I'm sure it's weekend. Everybody want to take rest and enjoy a weekend. That's okay. Like I said, I have given my LinkedIn profile. I'll be happy to connect anytime anybody has questions, and I do appreciate your entire team for helping us go live with this. So we can just stop the sessions here itself, and if people do have questions, even on the YouTube, I'll try to make sure that I answer them.
yeah, sure. And we have the recording on YouTube as well. So if they watch it afterwards or somewhat, if they they are coming to me for the questions, I can refer it to you.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you. Perfect. Then I'll let you guys enjoy your evening as well. Have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.